Good morning, children. I welcome you all for this online class. And today we are continuing with our Geography Lesson 1, Part 3. So, in the last class, we studied about the universe, galaxies, solar system, sun. Okay. And today we are going to study about the nine planets. The nine planets of our, the eight planets of our solar system. Okay, the first planet is Mercury. It is also named as the nearest planet because Mercury is the planet which is closest to our sun in the solar system. Okay, and we'll study about some of the important features, important um, uniqueness about this planet Mercury. Okay, so it is the smallest planet in the whole solar system. Among eight planets, Mercury is the smallest planet. Okay, it is also airless and waterless planet. So there is no air in Mercury and also there is no water there. Okay, and also Mercury does not have any atmosphere like how we have atmosphere above our earth. Mercury does not have atmosphere, and also it has no natural satellites. Okay, Mercury has no natural moons. Our earth will have one moon, isn't it? But for Mercury there is no moon, and Mercury can be viewed in the morning and evening with our naked eye. Okay, so some part of India or in some part of Tamil Nadu where there is no heavy air pollution, even in our whole earth, at places where there is less air pollution, you could see Mercury with your naked eye. We can clearly see this planet. Okay, the next planet is Venus. Venus is also known as the hottest planet. So, among the other seven planets of the solar system, Venus is the hottest planet, and Venus also has the longest rotation period. That is, our Earth takes 24 hours to rotate itself, isn't it? For one time, it takes 24 hours to rotate itself. Likewise, Venus takes 243 days to rotate itself. So it rotates very slowly. Okay, and also Venus rotates in the opposite direction to all other planets except Uranus. So, in the whole solar system, all the planets rotate in the anti-clockwise direction, that is from west to east direction. Okay, but only Venus and Uranus, they rotate in clockwise direction, and Venus has no natural satellite like Mercury. Okay, so Venus also has no moon to go around the planet, to orbit the planet Venus. And like Mercury, Venus also can be viewed in the morning and evening with our naked eye. Okay, the third planet is our Earth. So the Earth is also named as living planet because Earth is the only planet where life is possible. Among other seven planets, only in Earth life is existing. Okay. So our Earth is also called blue planet or watery planet because three-fourths of our planet is filled with water. Okay, and our Earth revolves around the sun at a speed of 30 kilometer per second. So our Earth moves with a very high speed, 30 kilometer per second. It goes and orbits the sun. Okay, then only life is possible in our Earth because of the presence of land, air, and water. Since our Earth has water, air, and land, life is possible only in our Earth. And our Earth has only one natural satellite, that is, we call it Moon. Okay, so the Moon goes around, it orbits our Earth. Okay, the fourth planet is Mars. It is also named as red planet because its color is red. So the red color is due to the presence of iron oxide on its surface. Iron oxide metal is present highly on the surface of our Mars. So its color is red in color. And Mars has very thin atmosphere. Okay, like how we have atmosphere in Earth, there is also thin atmosphere uh, above the Mars, but there is no oxygen in that atmosphere. And also Mars has polar ice caps like our Earth. Okay, like how we have polars, North Pole and South polar regions at the top and bottom. In the same manner, at the polar regions of Mars, there is polar ice. Okay, and Mars has two moons. Mars has two moons. One is Phobos, other one is Deimos. Phobos and Deimos are the two moons going revolving around the planet Mars. Okay, so for the first four planets we studied about, they are called inner planets, inner or terrestrial planets. All four, they are solid in nature. Okay, they are solid planets. And now we are going to study about planets that are in gaseous state. They are not solid, they are in gaseous state. So there is no surface for the planets, other four planets. If you step on Jupiter, you can't land on it. Okay, you can't land on Jupiter because there is no ground on it. It is only full of gases. Okay, gases. So the Jupiter is also called as gaseous giant. Okay, gaseous giant. Uh, Jupiter is the largest planet in our whole solar system, and it is the fastest spinning planet in the solar system. It is also the largest and also the fastest spinning planet. And the atmosphere of Jupiter is made up of hydrogen and helium like the sun. Okay, so like how we studied about sun, our sun is filled with hydrogen and helium. So the same minerals contains in Jupiter also. So the scholars say Jupiter was also a sun. Okay, it should have been a sun, but some because of some failures in Jupiter, it does not become a sun. Okay, so scholars call Jupiter as a failed sun. Okay, a failed sun. So the Jupiter has the largest number of natural satellites. Okay, so uh, among other planets in the solar system, Jupiter has many number of moons going around. I think nearly 90 moons. Some of the largest satellites, largest moons of uh, Jupiter are Io, Europa, Callisto. These are largest moons of Jupiter. The next planet is Saturn. It is also named as the ringed planets. So the rings seen around the Saturn are mostly made of ice, rocks, and dust particles. Ice, rocks, and dust particles. Okay, and Saturn has 62 moons around it. So there are 62 moons going around Saturn, orbiting Saturn. And some of the moons uh, of Saturn or Titan is one of the Saturn's largest moon, and it is the only moon in the solar system that has clouds. Like how Earth has clouds, in the solar system, another celestial body having clouds is Titan, the moon of Saturn. And the seventh gaseous planet is Uranus. It is also known as the somersaulting planet. Somersaulting planet. Why it got its name? Because all the planets they rotate in straight direction, but Uranus is tilted sideways. Okay, it is tilted side, so it rotates in the sides. Okay, it does not rotate in straight direction. It rotates in a inclined, that is it leaned forward, it moved, it rotated little bit forward, then it spins. Okay, so it is called somersaulting planet. Scholars say um, previously Uranus was spinning like other planets, but it was hit by some large asteroids. So because asteroid hit the Uranus, it was tilted forward, and so it is spinning in a leaned manner. And the Uranus color of the Uranus appears to be green in color because of the presence of methane in it. Okay, so methane is a combustible gas. It is like a fuel gas, which is very much useful in our planet. So the Uranus contains very large amount of methane. So and it rotates on its axis from east to west like Venus. So earlier we studied about Venus, isn't it? All the other planets rotate from west to east. Only Venus and Uranus they rotate from east to west. Okay, and its axis is tilted so much that it appears to orbit the sun on its sides like a rolling ball. As I said earlier, it is tilted in its axis, so it doesn't rotate in a straight manner, it rotates in a sideways. And Uranus has 27 moons in it for it. Okay, and some of the and the largest moon of Uranus is Titania. And the last and final planet of the solar system is Neptune. It is also known as the coldest planet since it is located far away from the sun. The heat and light of the sun does not reach Neptune in full. So mostly the planets planets or celestial bodies near Neptune or after Neptune, apart from Neptune, they are coldest in nature because it is hard for the sunlight to reach them. Okay, so in Neptune there are strong winds. Okay, so strong winds they blow in Neptune, and Neptune has 14 natural satellites, 14 natural moons, and the largest of moons of Neptune is Triton. Triton, Triton is the largest moon of Neptune. Okay, so 8 planets of the solar system we studied. Okay, so in your book, this picture is mentioned, given. Okay, so go through this. So here uh, the rotation period of every planets and the number of moons for every planets. Okay, and the distance from sun and revolution period are given. Okay, so go through it, it may be useful for you. Okay, then we move on to dwarf planets. Okay, dwarf planets. Dwarf means small, small. So we are going to study about smaller planets. So after Neptune, there are a large number of dwarf planets in our solar system. So next to Neptune, uh, Pluto is there, isn't it? Previously, Pluto was one of the planets of the solar system. So previously, uh, they named 9 planets of the solar system, but now Pluto was removed from the planetary system. It was not accepted as a planet, and scientists they named Pluto as a dwarf planet. So near Pluto, there are a large number of smaller size planets. Okay, they are called dwarf planets, or we can call them small planets. Okay, so why Pluto is not accepted as a planet? Why it is removed from the planet list? So, what is the difference between planets and dwarf planets? Okay, so the major important difference is the size. Okay, so if the size is large, okay, if any planet size is large, it contains gravitational force. So the gravitational force uh, allows uh, allows that planet to around the sun go around the sun, and it never goes in the path of other celestial bodies. It has its own axis, rotation point, orbit we call it. So 8 planets we studied so far, isn't it? So all the 8 planets they have their own arbitrary system. uh, in this picture, look at the blue lines. The blue lines are their arbitrary path in which they go around. So from this path they never move away. They always kept on following the lines. They never go away from this line because of their size, large size. They have strong gravitational force with the sun. But dwarf planets are not likewise. Okay, they share their orbit with other celestial bodies. They share their orbit. Okay, so in the path of Pluto, not only Pluto move in that orbit. Okay, along with Pluto, there may be some other dwarf planets or some other celestial bodies going along with the Pluto. So only Pluto is rejected. Okay, so planets they have their own arbitrary system. They never allow other celestial body to go along with them. It does not have any neighbors. Okay, uh, but dwarf planets, they move in a group. They while moving, they share their arbitrary path. This is the major difference between a planet and a dwarf planet. Okay, so the dwarf planets are extreme cold and dark. You know the reason why they are extremely cold and dark, because they are very far away from the sun, and they are almost spherical in shape. But unlike planets, they can share their orbit with other dwarf planets. So, as I said earlier, they can share their arbitrary path. Okay, and most of them are spherical in nature. And another problem with dwarf planets is they are not completely spherical in nature. The shape is not complete sphere. Okay, it may be irregular also. Dwarf planet shapes are irregular also. Okay, so the dwarf planet in the picture, it is the Ceres. Okay, it is Ceres. They are almost spherical in shape, but unlike planets, they can share their orbit with other dwarf planets. Okay, now we are going to study about moon, the moon, Earth's satellite. Okay, Earth's satellite. So, what is a satellite? Something moves around some body, we call it satellite. Any body, any celestial body goes around another celestial body, we call it satellite. And our moon is our Earth's satellite, natural satellite. Okay, natural. So, moon was not made by any human being, so we call it natural satellite. Okay, the moon is the Earth's only satellite. So, Earth has only one moon, and our Earth takes 27 days and 8 hours to orbit our Earth. So, it takes 27 and 8 hours, 27 days and 8 hours to go around our Earth. And Earth has no atmosphere, and moon is the only celestial body where human beings landed. So, in no other celestial body, in no other planets or no other moons, man landed. Only in Earth's moon, man landed. Okay, now we are going to study about asteroids. So, what are asteroids? Asteroids are small solid objects that move around the sun. Okay, so look at the picture. This is one asteroid. Okay, so asteroid are rock like pieces. Okay, pieces, they also go around the sun, they also revolve around the sun, orbit around the sun. So the sizes of asteroid, they are different. Okay, some asteroid may be uh, around 5 kilometer in size. Okay, and the largest asteroids may be nearly even size of our Tamil Nadu state. That much large asteroids are in our solar system. Okay, so they are irregular in shape, they are not round in shape, and uh, they move uh, using the gravitational pull of the sun. They go around the sun. Okay, and mostly asteroids are found between Mars and Jupiter. Okay, so we studied about inner and outer planets, isn't it? So there was a huge gap between Mars and Jupiter, where thousands of asteroids uh, going around the orbiting around our sun. Okay, so they are too small to be called as planets. Their size is comparing with planets; it is very small, so they are called asteroids. So dwarf planets and asteroids, they are more or less similar only. Their nature is more or less similar only. Okay, similar. They are also named as planetoids or minor planets. See, we studied about dwarf planets. These asteroids are also named as minor planets or planetoids. Okay, next comets. So, what are comets? Comets is also another celestial body. It is made up of it is made up of head and tail. Okay, like tadpole. You see in water tadpole, isn't it? So it looks like a tadpole. It has head and tail, and the head part of the comet consists of solid particles like ice. Okay, solid particles held together by ice. Some rocks, some kind of rocks or metals, they were covered by ice. This is the head portion, and tail portion is made of gases. Okay, so the comet which we see in the sky, they are made of metals or rocks covered with ice, and the tail of the comets is filled with gases. Okay, and Halley's comet is the famous comet which comes close to our earth every 76 years. So Halley's comet, okay, uh, is the uh, closest comet to our earth. So the comets and all, they are very 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 far away from our earth, from our solar system. Okay, so we studied about 8 planets, isn't it? So the Neptune is the far away planet. It is very far from sun. Okay, so after Neptune, we saw the dwarf planets, isn't it? Small planets, Pluto, Ceres, such planets, which they are also very cold and dark. And if you go far away, there is two important cloud system. One is Oort cloud and Kuiper belt. We call it Kuiper belt. Belt means group of uh, small celestial objects. We call it belt. So thousands and thousands of small comets are placed far away in the Kuiper belt and Oort cloud. Okay, so since they are very 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 far away from our sun, mostly they contain ice. Okay, they have ice, and when they also go around. Comets also go around the sun. They also orbit the sun. Sometimes what happens, the comets, they may go away from their path, move away from their path, and when they come closer to the earth, the heat of the earth melts the ice and it fall from their place, and it collide with some other celestial bodies. Okay, so the only comet which comes near our earth once in 76 years is Halley's comet. All the other planets, they are very 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 far away, and we could not see them with technologies. Okay, so previously this Halley's comet, it went across our earth in 1986. So after that, only in 2061 we could able to see again this Halley's comet. And finally, we are going to study about meteors. Okay, so the meteors are stone-like metallic body. Okay, see, they are looking similar to um, comets, isn't it? So only difference between comets and meteors is, meteors are only rocks. They are not filled with ice and all. Okay, and they don't have tails. Okay, these are rocks only, smaller rocks. And when when they enter Earth's atmosphere, they start to burn. Okay, because there is oxygen in our Earth's atmosphere. Any rock or metal entering our uh, atmosphere, earth, it start to burn. Okay, it start to fire. Okay, so they often appears like a streak of light in the sky. So they are also named as shooting stars. So sometimes when you watch the sky during the night, okay, you could see some stars are moving like shooting stars, and they finally they disappear. Okay, they move from one place to another place, and finally they disappear. They are meteors. They are the meteors. So when the meteors, mostly the meteors are smaller in size, and from Earth atmosphere, when they come down, they completely burn away. They never land in our Earth. But very rarely, largest meteors they touch the Earth. So when they touch the Earth, they are called as meteorites. Meteorites. Meteorites are the solid part of the meteors. When they touch the Earth, they are called the meteorites, and mostly they are, since they are smaller in size, they burn up in the atmosphere itself. They never reach the land portion of our earth. Only they reach the atmosphere of our earth, but very rarely when they reach, they are called the meteorites. Okay, children, so with this we'll end up our class. Go through the video class. If you have any doubts, call me. Okay. So by next class, we'll study about the motions of the earth. Okay, and we'll finish our class. Until then, see you all.